the secret to relatable writing is to talk to a specific person and not just to anyone or no one in particular. So most writers, especially when they are trying to sound a bit official or authoritative, they start to write in these nondescript, these unaddressed terms. So this is an interesting concept, I think. You have addressed writing, which is pointy and cuts through it, and you have unaddressed writing, and this is writing like a government official or a robot like AI. AI does this a lot. So I am experimenting with AI a lot in my company, and my writers are actually now becoming AI wranglers, as I call it. And the thing I come across most as the biggest problem is that AI doesn't know who to address. So let's dive into it. Addressed writing versus unaddressed writing. I have a couple of examples from government sources, but first I'd like to go over the core concepts here. When we're talking to someone specific, what will happen is our writing will ring, will resonate with people. There are contexts in which it is appropriate to address a lot of people at the same time. In the newspaper, at a concert, these types of things. But writing and reading is a very intimate process. When we're reading or when we're watching a YouTube video, we are mostly by ourselves. We are not shoulder to shoulder on the town square, in the town square. We are alone in our favorite chair, and it is strange to listen to someone addressing everyone and anyone in broad and unaddressed terms. So when we are writing to someone, we are not just writing to an abstraction of a person. We are writing to a specific person. We can see them in our mind's eye. I am at this moment talking to a dear friend of mine, and I'm addressing him directly. I'm speaking to him, or with him even, if we dare to. And he is asking questions, and he is elated at some of the things I say, and he's wondering what I mean with some things. And so this dialogue is inside my mind while writing. And this really helps me to focus on the things that are of importance to this specific person. But Sean, won't this mean that some people with other types of questions will be left behind? Yes, this means that exactly. And this is the paradox of good writing and good anything, I think. When we choose, when we determine to write to someone in particular, we are not writing to a lot of other people. And if these people are in that group, then it won't resonate with them. But if we try to resonate with everyone, it won't resonate with anyone. So I want to read you a quote of an old mentor of mine. He had a great story he used to illustrate this point, this exact point. He said, when Porsche makes a family car, it's neither a good sports car nor a good family car. It's made for everyone, and so it's made for no one. The sports car enthusiast thinks it's too slow, it has too many doors, and the family man, he thinks it's a bad family car. It doesn't have enough room, it is perhaps dangerous, it is expensive, it doesn't have a good mileage. And he's of course referring to the Panamera, the Porsche Panamera, which is surprisingly popular still, but not everything that's popular is good. We're talking about good writing. So there are styles of writing where you address a lot of people at the same time, and those styles of writing can be quite popular. But that doesn't make it good. Not everything that's popular is Good. I want to take a look at some examples. I think no one likes to be part of the crowd in particular, perhaps during concerts, but when people are reading, they desire something else. They desire intimacy. Reading is something intimate, and we should provide them, I think, with an intimate experience. And I don't mean talking like you're talking to someone in particular. I mean actually talking to that specific person in your mind's eye. To really directly address that friend. And in my case, that friend is probably watching right now. Take care, mate. So let's take a look at some examples. This is of the Washington Post's article, Rigorously disentangle and other examples of bad federal writing. What better place to go to than the government for bad writing? So this article reads, the guardians of clear and concise writing in government awarded top honors Tuesday to the Department of Homeland Security, the Social Security Administration and the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, for the best job last year turning bureaucraties into plain writing for the public. Annetta Cheek is the expert in question here. It's hard to write plainly, Cheek said. The result looks easy, but writing bureaucratically is a lot easier. There are some people who think if it's not legalistic and bureaucratic, it's not official, she said, describing good writing as counter to the culture of the government. I agree. One of the winning entries comes from the Transportation Security Administration, which shows visual agility with the missive for security requirements at airports. Let me quote that real quick here. This is the TSA summer travel checklist. And it says, before packing, follow 311 guidelines for bringing liquids, gels and aerosols in your carry-on bags. 3.4 ounces or less per container, 1 quart size clear plastic zip top bag, all liquids must fit in a bag, 1 bag per person. Yeah, that's a bit cumbersome. Because it's not even 311, it's 3.411. And what is that kind of a rule, what a rubbish rule name? Alright, it is visually agile. Alright, let's take a look at the National Maritime Center here. Qualified Assessor Program. This is the second bulletin discussing the implementation of the US Qualified Assessor Program established in the final rule titled Implementation of the Amendments to the International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers and Changes to National Endorsements. Must I continue? I think you get the point. And another one. TFA and the Teaching Fellows Program may attract different types of candidates than other routes to certification. These differences can arise both from the program's approaches to recruitment and selection and from the teacher's decisions on which programs to apply to and attend. The study cannot rigorously disentangle these components. I don't even know what to say. Well, are you feeling addressed here? I'm not. I'm feeling left behind a bit. So, for your next text, whenever you're writing, whatever you're writing next, think of this. Am I talking to a specific person here? What specific person? Can I see them in my mind's eye? What would they want to know? What won't they need to know? What do they know already? What questions would they have? How can I answer those questions? And how do I write in a tone of voice that is appropriate to them? Good luck.